All right, welcome. Today, we are going to build your very first conversation in English, piece by piece. Think of this as your personal toolkit for that big moment when you say hello for the first time. You know, it's a lot simpler than you might think, so let's just dive right in.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to build this conversation in 4 really simple parts. First, we'll cover those essential opening words. Then, we'll get into how to introduce ourselves. After that, we'll look at the super simple grammar that makes it all click. And finally, we'll touch on the ABCs, the written alphabet. Ready? Let's go!
First things first, the absolute essentials. You know, every single conversation, doesn't matter if you're meeting a new friend or just ordering a coffee, it always starts with a simple greeting. Okay, check these out. These 5 phrases are basically your keys to any conversation. Hello and good morning get you started. Nice to meet you is just perfect for when you meet someone new. And to wrap things up politely, you've got goodbye and thank you. Pretty simple, right?
Awesome. So, you've said hello, nailed it. What's next? Well, you find out who you're talking to, and that is all about names.
This right here is the most important question. What is your name? It's polite, it's direct, and absolutely everyone understands it. Trust me, you are going to use this phrase all the time.
And the answer? Just as simple. My name is... and then you just say your name. It's the perfect response, and just like that, boom, you have the first part of a real conversation totally ready to go.
So you know the sentence, my name is, but have you ever stopped to think about how it actually works? To get that, we need to pop the hood and look at this simple little engine that makes it run. And this is going to help you build so many more sentences all on your own. Believe it or not, it all comes down to one single verb, to be. This is probably the most important verb in the entire English language. It's what lets you say who you are, what things are. It's the is in my name is. Now here's the cool part. This verb, to be, it actually changes depending on who you're talking about. So for yourself, you say I am. For someone else, it might be you are or he is. And pay close attention to those short forms like I'm or he's. You'll hear those all the time when people are just talking casually. Okay, so we've got the verb is. That's one piece of the puzzle. But what about the my part? To show that the name actually belongs to you, we need one more special little ingredient. And here they are. They're called possessive adjectives. Sounds a bit fancy, but all they are simple words that show who owns something. My means it belongs to me. Your means it belongs to you. And for our sentence, my is exactly the piece we've been looking for. And now, let's put it all together. You take my plus the word name plus our verb is, and then you add your actual name. We just combined all our pieces, the possessive, the noun, and the verb, to build a perfect sentence. See how neatly that all fits together? Excellent! You can now say your name and understand the question. But what happens if you meet someone and their name is a little tricky to pronounce? Or maybe you want to write it down? Well, that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle, the ABCs. So you might hear this in a real conversation. Please spell your name. This is that moment when knowing the alphabet suddenly becomes a super practical skill, not just something you use for reading. And here they are, the 26 building blocks of written English, all the way from A to Z. Every single word, every name you can think of is built using these letters. They're your ultimate tool for making sure you're understood perfectly. Now here's a quick but really important detail. Every letter actually has 2 forms. We've got capital letters and we have small letters. They look different, sure, but they make the exact same sound. So a big A and a little a are really the same letter. So you might be asking, why even have 2 forms? Well, here is the most important rule you need to know for today. Names always begin with a capital letter. So when you write your name, Ahmed, Maria, Chen, that first letter has to be the big one. It's a really simple rule that shows people you know what you're doing. And just like that, look at what you have, a complete toolkit. You've got greetings to start and end things. You've got the question and the answer for names. You understand the grammar holding it all together. And you've got the alphabet to spell things out if you need to. You now have all the basics for a really successful first conversation. So, we've covered all the pieces. The only thing left to do is to actually use them. You have the tools and you have the knowledge. So, my question for you is this: what is the first sentence you are going to say?